Hi everyone, and welcome to our weekly Facebook Live on Wednesday tonight instead of our normal Thursday. So as you are coming on, please comment and tell me hello, and we will get started in just a couple of minutes. So most of you know why I had to switch my Facebook Live, but I have a big event that I'm getting ready for this weekend and just needed the time tomorrow to get stuff done. So anyway, hi to Philomena and Shireen and others that I see are popping on as I am talking. So anyway, welcome to having me on a Wednesday night. And I thank all of you that are able to make this work. As I was mentioning, I have a pretty big event that I'm doing this weekend, and so I'm not able to do much tomorrow because I need to spend the day packing and just getting things ready for that. So anyway, I decided to go live with you all tonight instead, so you at least have me for the week, and appreciate your flexibility. Hi to Tammy and Donna and Patty, Carol. Look at this. Oh, Maureen is on, and so is Deb. So anyway, welcome to all of you. So again, normally I do my Facebook Live on Thursday. We call it our Touch Base Thursday. So why don't we call it Wacky Wednesday? I don't know. But anyway, I decided to go live with you all tonight since I was not able to do this tomorrow. And I really wanted to share some new products with you that went live just like yesterday for you to be able to order. So I was able to get my hands on these products a whole month in advance. To be able to share it with all of you. So I whipped up some projects. There's no 3D project tonight, but you have an extra card. I just didn't have the time to be able to do that tonight. So anyway, but I'm happy to share with you and excited to show you brand new product. Oh, thank you, Julie. I know those of you that know me, you know I love flowers, and I usually have them in my hair. So when I found this backdrop, I had to get it, and I think it's perfect for down here. I love it. So anyway, a few things that I have in the way of announcements before we do our little sharing. But I see some of you are sharing. I love it. So like I mentioned, this weekend's my crazy busy cystic fibrosis event. Some of you have signed up for the online kit to go version of that, and that will ship hopefully next week. So just be on the lookout for that. That will ship after the event takes place. I think I still have maybe 1 or 2 openings in that. So if anyone's interested in the kit to go, it's $45. You get all of the little handmade gifts that we're giving out. There's about 5 of them. You receive $20 of product, Stampin' Up! Product. You receive the make and takes that they're going to be doing, which are pretty awesome. And then I'm trying to think what else is included in that. And then I have optional classes using my spring themed card uses the Tulip Fields and the Tulip bundle, and the masculine card uses the Grassy Grove, and then it has some slimline cards available. So I do still have a couple optional classes available that if any of you are interested in that. So if you are, send me a private message and I will send you the details on it. So my local event, though, is this coming weekend. We have about 50 people in attendance. I'm so excited and looking forward to being able to do that event and have fun with that one. So anyway, this week is also a crazy busy week for my girls. They have exams. This is exam week. And I have 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. I have my oldest daughter, who is you guys all know, I've called her a procrastinator on my lives before. And then I have my youngest daughter, Claire, who is, I would call her, I don't know if an overachiever is the right word, but she likes to get A's on everything. And if she doesn't, she gets so frustrated. So she actually has been attending an optional dance class and chose not to attend tonight because she wants extra time to study for her exams. So I was like, oh, that's so sweet and awesome. But she's really hard on herself. So I'm working on that with her too, because she does great, but she likes to do, and everything to perfection. So anyway, so a couple other things I have in the way of announcement things. My March online bingo was still open for registration. Those kits I think have to go out next week as well if I'm looking at the calendar right. So I do still have a couple openings in that. So if you're interested, I will be posting the link in the description of the video so that you'll be able to take advantage of that. And my Heart and Home class, I shared a little sneak peek of it earlier this week, is officially open. And then I have 3 classes that I just am working on the marketing and getting all of my collages made right now. And those 3 classes are an Easter card class using the Easter Friends They are adorable. Love this class. And then one of them using it's the Rain Boots bundle. I don't know the actual name of the bundle. And then I have a sympathy class. I know that some of you took advantage of my product-based sympathy card class, but I'm doing the class again for some of my local people here, and for my club members that are a separate group from that. Oh, and then I also have one using the ladybugs, the awesome stamp set and bundle punch with the ladybugs. So lots of new, fresh classes opening up soon. February classes are shipping out tomorrow. They are done and packaged. I just need to add the postage to them after my Facebook Live. Sorry, they're going out the beginning of March. I blame it on the short February month. So anyway, but your February classes, don't think I forgot about you. They are going out. You'll get them over the next few days. Okay, so with that, oh, hi, Kelly. Kelly gets to watch. Yes, that's awesome. All right, so if you share my video, you just share it. Let others know about me as a demonstrator. Anyone new following me, my name is Kim Vogel. I'm a demonstrator from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, and I do weekly lives, normally on Thursday. Tonight it's going to be on Wednesday, though. And I would love to have more crafting friends join us, so make sure you share. My two prizes that I had from last week were the square vellum doilies, and then I had a bolt of the Pale Papaya ribbon. And so the winner of the Pale Papaya ribbon is Marcia Numerick. So congratulations to Marcia. I'm not sure I've seen her pop on yet tonight. And then the winner of the square vellum doilies is Shelby Laverack. So congratulations to Shelby and to Marcia. And then drum roll, up for grabs this week is the gingham, black and white gingham ribbon, which I used this ribbon on the projects for the ladybugs, and it's turned out really, really cute. Can't wait for you guys to see those cards get posted. And then I have the fine art floral ribbon, which I used on another class as well. So those are the two prizes that we will draw someone for next week. Okay, let me make sure I covered all of my notes. Oh, one more thing. So I posted earlier, it might have been yesterday, there is a Stampin' Up! Has a sale going on right now. Who doesn't like a sale? Oh, Marcia is there. Yay. The sale is you can get 20% off the mini Stampin' Emboss die cut machine during the month of March. And then Stampin' Up! Also has 12 bundles, a stamp set and die bundle that will work with that mini machine. So all the dies are going to be the right size that will fit through and you can use it. So 20% off the mini machine and 12 their specific product bundles on sale during the month of March. So I did post that yesterday, but I just wanted to make sure all of you knew about that and to check that out. It's also, if you're not subscribed to my email list, make sure you do. Again, the link is posted in the description of my YouTube videos right after I do my Facebook Live or the next day. It's just a little form you fill out to give me your name and your email address, and then you'll get emailed all the information. So I send out a Tuesday newsletter, and which I call my Tuesday Tidings, and then I do a Friday newsletter, which is you get free tutorials and stamping ideas and projects. So make sure you join that mailing list, because that's where you won't miss out on anything or any of my class options as well. Okay, so tonight I am sharing with you a bundle that is on early release. Now, the bundle itself is going to be in our new annual catalog that begins in, I think it's May. May 2nd, I think it is, or May 3rd. Now, the consumables, when I say consumables, I'm talking about the designer series paper you're going to be seeing, the foil paper, and the beautiful rhinestones are while supplies last. And I couldn't find in the fine print if they're going to be carried over, but I have a gut feeling they're not going to be. It's kind of what they did last year with the butterfly bundle when we had that little butterfly paper and it was gorgeous and then it was gone. So if you are interested in any of the products that you're seeing tonight, I encourage you to get them before they're gone, because I'd hate for you to miss out on this paper. It is gorgeous. The rhinestones are beautiful and can be used on so many different projects. So with that, let me transition my camera down and I will share with you the products and a few projects that I created using it to give you some inspiration, because then this will be on your must-have list. Okay, so one moment while I transition my camera down. So here we go. You're going to get a little sneak peek of what I've created You won't get to see it all though, because you know, that just takes away all the fun. But you're gonna get a little sneak peek. I'll push them up a little bit so you can see. Let me turn my computer around here on my tablet so that I can continue to see some comments. And I need to unplug my speaker so that all of you can hear me. And there, we are ready to go. Okay, so I'm gonna move the cards out of the way real quick, so that way they're out of the way and I can show you the product itself, okay? Now, this entire bundle that I'm gonna be showing you is $79.25. And when I say the bundle, it includes everything you're gonna be seeing here in just a couple of minutes. It includes the Waves of Inspiration stamp set. Hi, Carol, and the purple hearts, I love it. It includes the Waves dies, which you're gonna see I've used, on my projects. But you have this awesome wave that kind of coordinates with this stamped image. I really like these for the sentiments. So you have two different sizes of those. You have the one die that will cut out the pelican here. You have some little dove birds, and then you have two different waves. So one is a little bit more detailed than the other, or you could do them, both of them in different color and offset them. So it makes it really, really nice. Some clouds, I love that. So this is the stamp set and the coordinating dies, okay? But the best part yet is the coordinating products that go with this. So these are the products that are while supplies last. So again, if there are things that you want to get, you're going to want to order them sooner than later. But these are the beautiful rhinestone, they're called Rhinestone Waves, and they're in 4, maybe 5 different colors. Yeah, 5. You get some that are like in the dark blue, light blue, and then like a turquoise green and like a granny apple green. I don't know if the video gives them justice, but they are gorgeous. And you get a whole bunch of them for like $6 or $7. They're not that expensive. But these are one of the products that are while supplies last, okay? And then we have some foil, some gold and blue and turquoise foil. And you get 2 of each color in the package. Isn't this gorgeous? I love it. Again, this is while supplies last. I know you guys might be getting a glare on this, but it is just gorgeous. I wish I could get just a lot of this blue. Would be so awesome for my daughter Natalie's open house with her graduation coming up in a few months. But that is the foil. Hopefully you get a bit of an idea of what that looks like. And then the designer series paper. So this designer series paper is stunning. It is beautiful foil, Philomena, I agree. So I'm gonna bring in the papers and show you the one side first. Let me move my ink pads out of the way. So look at this gorgeous paper. So this paper is called the Waves of the Ocean. And again, it's paper that is only available while supplies last. So when it's gone, it's gone. But look at how gorgeous this is. Can you imagine doing, I mean, this is great for cards, but I can also envision doing scrapbook pages with spring break coming up. This bundle is perfect for capturing all those memories. And I'm sure I'll be doing some. Natalie is actually going to be going to Fort Lauderdale with one of her friends from high school. And so I'm thinking this would probably be a really good bundle for me to do some of her scrapbooking in. But you can kind of see here, you get lots of different colors. And then I'm going to turn them around and show you the back, because the back incorporates even more awesome colors. Look at this gorgeous paper. All right. So I think that's all of them. Make sure I didn't forget one, but I don't think I did. Nope, I did not. Woohoo! Okay, so now let me show you the back side of these. Ready? So pretty. And the colors are so vivid. Like what you're seeing there is truly what it looks like. It is just gorgeous. So here you have some of the yellows and some of the peach color. I think that's actually the petal pink. And then you have one like that. I agree, Carol. This collection is awesome. I love it. And then you have that one. So again, you're getting some other colors in here to incorporate. And that one. Look at this pretty one. You got all those colors, the blue, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous paper. And then you have that one. Okay, so those are the different designer series papers. Now you're going to be seeing me using them tonight, and you're going to be seeing me showcase and focus on some different techniques that I used with this bundle as well. And again, this bundle went live for all of you to purchase as of yesterday. So it is fresh off the press. And that is why I chose to do my Facebook Live. Oh, Maggie, I can see you being all over this bundle. So Maggie lives on the lake and always takes beautiful pictures. Okay, so the first card I'm going to share with you is this one right here. And you see how awesome this is, how you can add ribbon to that? Isn't that cool? So for this one, I just used basic white for my card base. Now, you're going to see me using some different designer series paper as a variation to show you that you can pick any of these patterns for any of these cards and they're going to look beautiful. Okay, so you're going to actually see me make this card with this piece instead. So I purposely kind of changed a little bit of that up. And then I cut a piece of crumb cake because crumb cake just reminds me of kind of like the beach scene and the beach look. This is cut, I believe it's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, maybe 4 1/2. And then what I did is I ran it through the embossing folder with the splatter, that splatter embossing folder to kind of make it look like it's water spilt on it. It's kind of what my whole intention there was. So we're just going to adhere this down to my card. And this one I did not add a lot of layers to it. Now I know a lot of you are probably thinking, wow, Kim normally does layers. I didn't think this one needed it. It's gorgeous just without it. And then I cut a little piece of designer series paper. And oops, I got that one cut a little bit too big, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. I should have cut that down 1/4 inch. We're going to adhere these two together. And so like I said, I just picked a different piece. It is not even the same. Actually, I am going to trim that down or it will drive me crazy. I actually handed it to Jen, who's here tonight, helping me get kits out. So she's going to cut it down for me. Woohoo! All right. So call me crazy. I just like to have things, you know, not be, I want them the way I'm supposed to have them, right? Okay, so in advance, what I did is I stamped the pelican here using the soft suede. This is the only one that I have already stamped in advance. Everything else we're going to do together tonight. But this is the pelican on the cute little driftwood there. And I stamped that in soft suede and cut it out with the die that goes with that. So this I'm just going to adhere down. And again, I used that different color of designer series paper for a little bit of variation there, okay? And then I'm going to add this on here with some dimensionals. So let me bring in the dimensionals here. And you're going to see, like I said, a few different techniques with me using this bundle. So hopefully you get some that you might like and give it a try. And again, this whole bundle is $79.25, but it includes all of the stuff that I showed you. The paper, the foil, the rhinestones, and the stamp set and dies. So I think that's a pretty good deal. All right, this is one of the die cuts that I cut out using the basic white, and I'm going to bring in my soft suede. And the sentiments in this stamp set are pretty awesome as well. You have our friendship is a thing of beauty. You're so totally awesome. Your strength is an inspiration, which that's awesome for those that might be suffering from any kind of health ailments or anything. And then happy birthday. So I chose to use the happy birthday. And I'm going to just stamp this on top of my little piece here. It fits perfectly. Of course it would, right? Why? It's how Stampin' Up! Does things. And then what I did on this one, so you could always put ribbon through these, which you're going to see me do here later. But for this one, whoops, and then I'm throwing around my baker's twine. For this one, I did the little loop-de-loops through it. So I'm just going to cut a little piece of ribbon. I probably cut it way too long because I did. Yeah, silly me. But anyway, all I did is I cut 2 little pieces of ribbon and I looped it through here and kind of pulled it through like this. But with my big fingers, I like to have lots of space on my Facebook Live. So yeah, I'm wasting some baker's twine. I might have Kay mad at me, but that's okay. I love to pick on her. Okay, and then I'm going to, so those of you that don't know, most of you do, Kay helps me a lot in the basement, and she's always like being very, you know, if I go for a piece of cardstock, tells me, go to your scraps, you have scraps, go use them. So anyway, I like to bring that up occasionally because it gets her going, yeah, no kidding, Kim. All right, so I'm just going to Do the same on this side. So just to give you an idea of something you can do here, okay? And then I'm going to cut that one off too. So yeah, I wasted a little bit more. Sorry. Okay, and then I put this on with dimensionals. Now, one of the things, and I know that I've showcased this before on my Facebook lives, because this is already on with dimensionals, I don't want to add another dimensional on top of here because it's going to make it be lopsided. So what I did is I just put adhesive right on this, right on the little driftwood thing, or you could have done it on the back if you wanted to. And I'm only going to add a dimensional onto the one side of this. Thank you, Philomena. So a little story about my nails since you brought those up. So I normally don't do like really soft and subtle. And I told him that I wanted something really soft and subtle. He goes, okay, I'll give you that, but you're going to have to go with pink. And I went, okay, we can do pink. And I actually really like them. And normally they're more bright, right? You guys are probably thinking her nails are never that light. I really like them. All right. So there you have the card. It is a perfect card for masculine, absolutely. Then what I did is I topped it off with a couple of the rhinestones. Now here's the neat thing. So you can see on my sample, I pulled in that dark blue because the dark blue was what my focal point was here on the card. On this one, I don't have a dark blue, so I have more of the turquoise blue. So that is what I'm going to pull in instead. Again, that's one of the things you can just kind of mix and match and change up based on whatever paper you have. Stampin' Up! Has made this so easy for us to be able to change it up a little bit. And there you have the first card created with that bundle. Isn't that gorgeous? And doesn't it look just kind of different with the different color schemes that I used on that one? So anyway, that is our first card. And you're welcome, Marcia. I like that idea too. Just it adds just a little bit of something to it without really adding like a lot of ribbon or wrapping it around and tying. So I like that look. Okay, so that is our first card for tonight. So let me see what's next on my pile. Oh, the next one is this one right here. So this one is going to showcase for you how you can stamp the wave, and then also add one of those pieces of the emboss or the die cutout on top of it. Isn't that gorgeous? So for this card, let me make sure I have myself organized here. So for this card, I used just jade for my card base. And then I used a layer of mint macron that is cut 5 1/4 by 4. And that is just going to get adhered on. So I made an exception for myself tonight. This is one of the first Facebook Lives where I didn't just stick to one bolt of ribbon. You're going to see me use 2 or 3 different ribbons. I used the same rhinestones, but you're going to see me use some different ribbons because I really wanted to showcase the colors in this bundle and kind of show you some of the products that would coordinate with it because there is no ribbon that actually goes with this bundle. So this ribbon that I used is from our annual catalog, and it is the Just Jade and Gold ribbon, and it goes perfectly with this as well. Thank you, Joanne. I am glad that you like this. All right, and then I just took some designer series paper, cut them into 1-inch strips, and made them 1 inch by 5. And so I actually think I used the back of some of the paper, used the same one and just went with the back of at least 2 of these. So I'm just going to add these strips. Yep, this one right here I think is the same. Sometimes it's hard to even tell what's the same because there's so much variation in them that you can get away with using the same piece for multiple things, I think, because it's just so cool that way. I'm going to add the 2 on the outside first. Okay, so I'm going to add these 2 in here like that. And then I'm going to add the one down the middle. Which side do I want? I'm going to go with this side. So we'll put the adhesive on this one. Again, that's the fun part, right? Being able to pick whatever side you want there. All right, and that's just going to decorate our back up just a little, okay? Then I cut a piece of cardstock. I believe this is 3 3/4 by 4. And I just cut it big enough to kind of go on the front of here. And we're going to do a little bit of stamping on here. So let me get a piece of paper that I can stamp on here. Let me just use this right here. So we're going to use on this one, mint macron. Oop, I didn't get mint macron out. I thought I did. As my elf is getting me some mint macron. Hopefully it's up there. Yay, it is. I have to use mint macaron or it's gonna look kind of funny. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so look how big this stamp is. Sorry, my block is a mess. I didn't take the time to clean my block up, but this stamp is huge, but we're only gonna be focusing in on part of it. So I am not going to be stamping or inking up the whole thing. Now you could, if you wanted to, you could ink up the whole thing and stamp it all the way across if I was making a card, which I think I actually do in a little bit and show you a sponging technique. But in this case, all we need to do is stamp this onto the bottom part of my card. So I'm just gonna stamp it on here like this. Again, I'm using the Mint Macaron ink. Okay, so mine's a little bit lighter than my sample because I didn't push down quite as much, but that's okay. And then what I did is I used this, let me get that paper out of the way. This is one of the die cuts from the dies. And I'm just gonna adhere that right on top of there. And look how pretty that makes that. So that I'm going to use my Tombow glue. Again, you could also use those adhesive sheets, what are they called? Yeah, they're called adhesive sheets that work perfect with little detailed dies. But for tonight, we're just gonna go with using it like this. Okay, and then this is just going to get glued down directly on top of this, and it lines up, of course, perfectly because in true Stampin' Up! Style, it all works like that. Isn't that awesome? Look at that, how cool that is. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure that that gets stuck down really good. So sometimes I like to take a block or take something and push it down and make sure I get that glued nice and good. And then this is gonna go on to my card. I used some dimensionals for that. And I put it down far enough so that I had space for my sentiment and space for my ribbon. So we're just going to add some dimensionals here to the back of this. So this is, again, another way that you can use this bundle. The first one was using the Pelican. This one shows you how to use the stamp with the coordinating dies to make some beautiful waves. And I'm just taking off the backings of that. And then this is gonna get put on to the middle of my card here, like that. And then I used this one again, the same awesome little die cutout. And for this one, I am going to actually use, so I don't have a thingy to clean. Oh, I do have a thing to clean. Forgot that I put this one here. I was gonna have to use the same color. But I'm gonna clean this off. Don't you guys, I'm not sure if I ever talk much about these awesome chamois. I know it looks horrible, but these chamois are amazing for cleaning off your stamps. We sell them, and then they come in you can get the clear case separate. Usually when anybody buys one of these from me, I include the clear case as a little thank you gift, but they're perfect. There's no lint whatsoever, and then I almost grabbed the wrong ink anyway. There's no lint left on your stamps whatsoever. It is the perfect way to keep your stamps clean. You do have to, it will dry out and it will shrivel up to nothing almost, and you might think, oh my gosh, I ruined it. But I'm here to tell you that you didn't. It's the most amazing thing ever. So if you do not have one of those yet, really encourage you to consider getting one. You will not be disappointed. All right, so we're gonna add some dimensionals to the back of this. I use those chamois, and I don't even use the Stampin' Scrub or the Stampin' Mist at all anymore. That is all I use for cleaning my stamps. It's been amazing. And I got glue stuck to my fingers, so I'm having tons of. All right, I'm gonna put that there, and then I'm just gonna I need to close my ink pad. It's one thing about me, when I stamp, I cannot stand leaving my ink pads open. They have to be closed. I'm afraid of dropping something in there or making a mess of everything, and then there I am, right? Okay, so let me get that. We're just gonna make a bow. So I'm just going to tie the bow around here and pull this so it's not quite so big. I don't want a real big bow. I'm just gonna kind of work with this. Ribbon is so easy to work with when it comes to making bows. And then I'm just gonna trim this at an angle on both sides here like that. And then this will get put on with some glue dots onto, if I can find my glue dots here. There we go. I need to get rid of that big tail I have. So this is gonna get glued onto this corner right there. And then I'm going to add one of those rhinestones onto the other corner. And this time I'm going to use one of the green ones real pretty, I like to call it the Granny Apple Green. I'm glad I'm not alone on that, Marcia. I'm glad that somebody else has to do the same thing. I don't like it open. All right, I'm gonna add one there. Now you could also add a couple more rhinestones to the other spots if you wanted to, add some into the waves, but look how pretty that is. So another different way of using that with the dies. Thank you. Look at all the little hearts coming. You guys sure know how to make me feel loved. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys the sponging technique. Okay, so look how pretty this one is. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so this card is probably one of the most simplest ones that I'm going to show you tonight. So for this one, I used Coastal Cabana for the card base, a layer of the Pacific Point, and then I used a layer of the this one's 5 by 3 3/4 of the white. So we are going to work with that white real quick, and I'm going to show you how I got this awesome effect there. So let me clean off my I gotta clean off the ink from my big stamp that I have here. Hi, Nancy. Nancy, our thoughts are with your community tonight. So a little bit of, Nancy lives in a town called Ithaca, which is about a half an hour south of where I live. And tonight, one of their school buses was in an accident on their way to a ski meet. It was their ski team. So Nancy, I have been praying for your community and for those kids. And so since you popped on, I just wanted to let you know that. And so if all of you watching can keep them in your thoughts and prayers as well, that would be wonderful. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I am going to be inking this up with my, oh, I don't want my macaron. See, I cannot talk and look at things and do two things at once. I'm going to use Coastal Cabana, okay? I think on my sample I used Pool Party, but I'm changing it up and going to use my Coastal Cabana. So what I did is I inked this up with the Coastal Cabana, and it's kind of a big ink pad or a big block to hang on to. You could also set it down. So I could also just set it down like this and ink it up like this. So it's kind of a, however you want to do that will work. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with Pacific Point, and I'm going to do some sponging on top of this. So I have a sponge dauber that I'm going to use. You could also use, if you wanted to, some sponges or anything like that. I'm going to use a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to ink up and add some darker blue in little streaks onto this. Can you kind of see how I'm adding that ink? You can see where it's getting darker. Isn't that cool? So I'm just going to kind of add it in spots. I don't want to overdo it because you still want some of that light to kind of come through. And then I'm just going to add a little bit to the edge here. And in spots, I am making it a little bit darker. Okay. All right. So there you have it. I think that's about enough of the blue that I want. Now, because that ink's been sitting there for a little while, you want to kind of moisten it a little bit. So I call it the Huffing Technique. You're just going to take this and kind of breathe on it. Just go, okay. You can't see me do that without my head in the camera, but you just kind of re-moisten the ink. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this down here on the bottom. And I want to make sure I get a good stamped image on this. So I'm just going to make sure I push this down really, really good. And the variation is going to look a little bit different because you're never going to get it to be identical to the previous one that you've done. But look at how gorgeous that is. Look, look, look. Hey, I didn't do too bad. Woohoo to me. But isn't that so pretty and a nice wow factor? You send this card out and people are going to be like, how did you do that? And you saw how easy it was. All right, so now we're just going to adhere this down to the layer behind it. Again, I used the Pacific Point here. Thanks, everyone. So, so simple. Now, before I adhere this down to the card base, we're going to do the little technique here with the ribbon. And you can see here I used the bigger piece here, the bigger shape. Oh, and we also stamped some birds. So let's get the birds in there first. So the birds I did in, I think I did it in the, well, the brown, I think I did crumb cake, but the brown I pulled out for tonight is the soft suede. So we're just going to stamp a few little birds here. You can add a lot or as few as you want. So there's some little birds in the background, right? So cool. So, so cool. Okay, and then we're going to stamp using the Pacific Point and stamp onto this little piece right here that I've already pre-cut. That is one of the dies that's included in this awesome bundle. And so for this one, I'm stamping Your Strength is an Inspiration. So we're just going to ink that up. And it, again, fits perfectly onto this. Look at that. All right, and then here's what I did with the ribbon. So for this card, oh yay, Courtney, you did make it. So for this card, I used the Pool Party sheer ribbon, okay? And all I did was I put this through the back and up through the other side. You see that kind of? And then from there, you just want to make sure you have enough ribbon to go around the outer side and enough ribbon to go on that side. And I'll show you kind of how I did this strategically here in just a couple of minutes. Isn't that mix awesome, Kay? I know it. I love it too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually adhere the ribbon down to the back of this so that it won't move around on me, because then we want to add dimensionals to the back of that. So I am just going to put a little bit of adhesive on that, and that's going to keep that ribbon from moving, and I still have enough space to wrap it around there perfectly, okay? And I probably should have put this on before I'm going to cover up one of the birds, but that's okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add a couple of dimensionals on top of that. So let me add about, I'm going to do 3 dimensionals on this. That glue that I used for that first card is still sticking on my fingers. So that's part of my issue here with this all wanting to come up. All right, so I'm just going to pull the backings off of that. And if I wanted to add another bird, I could. So we might go back and add another little bird flying in the background. Okay, so I'm going to cover up this bird right here. So I'm just going to lay this down. Okay, and then I still have enough to wrap this around the edges. So that is kind of how I did that. Nothing fancy, just making sure that you get that down and laid down first. I'm going to cut a little bit of that ribbon off. And you want to make sure that it's not crooked, like I have it crooked. There we go. Move that one up a little bit. So nothing too hard. You just got to kind of make sure that you have it. There we go. I love it. All right. So I am going to add one more bird to this. I'm going to add the bird down here. Like it's still going over the neck. So pretty. Okay, there we go. Have to have another bird in there. And then you can see my cloud, and that cloud is also a die from the same set. Thank you, Kit. And I'm going to do a little bit of inking around the edges on this, and I'm going to use the same sponge dauber that I used previously. Actually, let me move the ink over here. So this is the little cloud, and I just didn't want to put that on there by itself because I thought it was kind of missing some color. So we're going to make it look like it's got the blue sky kind of shining behind it. So I'm just going to ink up the edges of this a little bit with my dauber. So pretty. Okay. And then we're going to adhere that down with a couple of dimensionals. So hopefully so far the 3 cards that I shared with you have given you some inspiration in different ways of how you can use this bundle. And I'm just going to stick the cloud up here like that. I know it. This bundle has really brought out that Pacific Point. Courtney, when you say that, it's made me realize that I haven't used Pacific Point in quite a while. But this card is so pretty and so simple. So simple. And if you don't want to have to put the ribbon through there, you don't have to. You could just put it behind it and do a little knot here or whatever. I, again, thought that was a neat little way of showcasing the ribbon, and those openings are perfect for that. So I then put this on a piece of the Coastal Cabana cardstock. Okay. And then I topped it off with, you guessed it, those beautiful rhinestones. So this one you can use any colors. You can see I actually used 3 different ones. You probably won't be able to tell, but I used 3 different ones on mine. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to use a really light blue one, and then I'm going to use a dark blue one because, you know, I can. And then I'm going to use a medium blue one. I'm using all of the little sizes. You could add more if you wanted to, but there you have a beautiful card that whoever gets this is going to say, how did you do that? That is gorgeous. And you saw how I did that. Now, the only thing is if you're making this card in a lot of duration, like you're duplicating them, you're going to want to clean this off between each stamp that you do, because otherwise, if you take this right now and go back into your Coastal Cabana, you're going to get some of that dark Pacific point in your ink pad, and you don't want that. So this is one of those where you do have to now clean this off again. Again, that's where those chamois come in handy. You're going to want to clean that off again, and then again, start over with your light color. So you can do this technique with many different stamps, but you always want to put your light color on the actual stamp itself. So I went with the Coastal Cabana and then sponged on top of that with the darker color. Okay, so that is one of the little takeaways for you on how you kind of want to do that. All right, so yay, I'm glad you guys like that one too. All right, so this next one I'm going to show you is totally outside of the box and doesn't really have a lot to do with the bundle, but it showcases the paper beautifully. So let me bring this one in. Look at that. All right, so for this one, and this is something that you could do and use for so many different cards. If you're looking for a quick and simple card and you're like, oh, this one moved on me. It's supposed to be there. There we go. If you're looking for a quick and simple card and you're not sure what to make, this is a good fallback. It's perfect. This uses the Taylor punch from our annual catalog, and it's a perfect punch for being able to just add some blocks of color to your card. So for this one, I used the Old Olive for my card base, and then I paired it with Night of Navy, which is 5 1/4 by 4. So we're gonna go ahead. I know, isn't that cool? A quick, simple, easy card. Sometimes we just need easy, right? You ever get those days where you're like, oh my gosh, I need a quick card. What can I do? Well, here is a quick one for you, okay? Now, when I punched out my pieces for this card, I did not make sure that I had the same ones that I had on this one because I was just using some leftover scraps. I'm a big scrap person. I don't like to waste scraps. So I'm always looking for different cards that I can do to be able to utilize my scraps. So that's gonna go on there like that. And then I have 4 of these pieces already cut out, and you can kind of mix and match and put them on here however you kind of want. Let's see here, I'm gonna go with this one. And what's on this side? This one. Okay. So there you have it. I didn't cut out a yellow one, but look how fun that is. So we're just gonna start adhering these punches down to my card. So I'm just gonna kind of put one here, do the one on the bottom. And you wanna kind of try to line up the points so that they kind of, you know, and have the same amount of space between them. Quick and simple and easy peasy. So how many of you who don't have this punch are now gonna go out and get the punch? It is a fun punch, okay. And I probably should have put those 2 over a little bit further, but you get the gist of it here. When you're doing a Facebook Live, sometimes you don't pay attention as well. But by doing it that way, you have a perfect space in the center for another one to do for your stamping. So this one I stamped You're Totally Awesome. So I'm gonna bring in my Pacific Point. I think I used Night of Navy here. I just didn't want 20 ink pads out, so I kind of decided to, and that's the thing I love about Stampin' Up. I don't need to go find every single ink that I own for the bundle. As long as you have a couple of them, you can make it work perfectly. So I'm gonna stamp You're So Totally Awesome on there. I kind of like the brighter blue anyway. I think so. So thank you, Peggy. This bundle is so fun. I didn't think I was gonna like it until, and I say this all the time, until you start playing with something after you order it. You know, and I've always learned, okay, just because you don't like it the best doesn't mean your customers won't. And so, but I was kind of like, I don't know. I mean, we don't live by the water. We don't, but playing with this bundle has totally changed my mind. It is gorgeous. So I put that on with some dimensionals, but look at that. It's just pretty. And then I topped it off with some of those rhinestones, and I did it like in a little triangle just to kind of, in using the different sizes. So for this one, I'm going to actually use the, we get more of the actual Pacific Point ones. So I'm going to use those. And I'm going to do a big one and then a small one here and then a small one here and then the same on the opposite side. So if I had I do have my take your pick tool. I just forget to use it. Okay. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to grab a big one here. And I'm the same way, Lori, so that's why I felt like this one was just perfect. And this paper can be used for so many different things. It doesn't have to just be used for this bundle. Oh, they're jumping ship on me. You can use this for so many. Sorry, my rhinestone decided to stick to my paper. All right, you can stay there. I'm gonna get a different one. All right, guys, I'm getting my take your pick tool because, you know, that's what I usually use. If you don't have a take your pick tool, it will change your life when you just remember to use it. So you saw what I just did there. What I did is I picked up my rhinestone. It already had adhesive on the back. The side's got little putty on it. And then you put it on here and you just kind of twist it and it releases it. So it makes it really easy for you to add embellishments and things. A lot of times I just go for lazy and try to do things with what's in my hand. So, all right, but there you have it. Isn't that a really pretty card? So simple and so easy to do. Okay, now another thing that I could have done on this one is I could have also embossed the basic white with an embossing folder to bring in a little bit more depth, but I thought of that after I had it created, so I didn't want to go back and redo. So, all right, so that is that card. So again, just a little bit of a different take on it. Okay, I've got 2 cards left. We might not get through both of them, so I'm going to do this one because this one showcases a lot of the gorgeous paper, and it showcases that pelican bird again, but this time I included it in a circle and not having to actually cut out, stamp it and cut it out. So if you're not big on wanting to use well, you still have to have circles, but a lot of you I know have circle punches that will work the same way. So for this one, oops, I got the wrong stuff on top. Let me make sure I change out my card here. Okay, so for this one, I used the Pacific Point for my card base. And this one, I wanted lots of color on it because I just wanted to really pop it and showcase a lot of that designer series paper. But isn't that just gorgeous? And it's so simple. Lots of layering. I'm a big layering person. So for this one, I used Coastal Cabana for my first layer. And you can see there's no ribbon on this card whatsoever. This is totally all designer series paper, and it is just gorgeous. And then I used a full piece of the designer series paper, and this is 5 by 3 3/4. So I'm just going to adhere that down next. And then what I did is I picked out my next designer series paper that I wanted to use. And so I chose one right here that had some of the Granny Apple Green in. And so since I did that, I knew I wanted a little bit of a layer of Granny Apple Green behind it. So for that one, I cut out a piece of Granny Apple Green. This is 4 by 3. And then I just put that onto my card at a little bit of an angle. This one is cut 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then I also paired this designer series paper behind a 4 by 3 piece of the Night of Navy. And then I just adhered this one down on the opposite angle, showcasing some of the green behind it. Thank you, Philomena. It's so simple. Oh, Carol, you love seagulls more. I agree. I think I might too. I think I really like, though, this pelican right here stamped in that color. Just think it looks so pretty. So we are going to stamp the pelican in that color. And I need to bring in my little sneak peek, my little cheat sheet here, my piece of paper. And I got to find my pelican, and we need to clean him. So tonight you guys get to actually see me stamp because I didn't take the time to do a lot of this in advance because I literally designed these cards just in the last couple of days. And I finished actually cutting my samples to share with you tonight. So there's the truth, guys. That's how my life has been this week with work and keeping up with everything. I was cutting these cards. I started them at 10 to 6. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this on here. You're going to see part of it's going to go off the paper, which is just fine. Look at that. So cute. All right. And then bringing my sample back in, I used the layering circles and cut out another one with the layering circles that's going to pop this. This is the one of the foil sheets. And I didn't use the foil sheets in a lot of my cards. I did on a couple of them, but I did use it on this one to pop that up. And so we're going to put that on there. Just like that. And because I have so many layers on this, I chose, I did put dimensionals on there. I thought I didn't put dimensionals on there, but I did. Okay, so we're going to add a couple dimensionals. Thank you, Philomena. That pelican is so fun. So fun. Marcia, I don't think we do have that. That would be a fun one to pair with this, wouldn't it? All right, and then I cut out a 1 inch by 2 inch piece. We're going to stamp, let me move my card out of the way. We're going to stamp the You're Totally Awesome on that one with, I think I already have this in the right color of ink. I do, so I can keep on stamping. You're Totally Awesome. And then I put that behind a piece of Coastal Cabana that is 1 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then that got put on with dimensionals at an angle. Again, it's going to layer perfectly. Isn't that cool? Oh, Shireen, I love your little pun there. She put totally awesome, and that's exactly what my saying says. I love it. Perfect. All right, so let me bring my sample back in. And we're going to put that on here at on an angle. So let me put that up here like that. And then the final touch is I added some rhinestones, some of those beautiful rhinestones to the centers. Oh, I stamped, shoot, I hope I don't ruin this card now, but I stamped birds on there too. Forgot about the birds. So let's stamp the birds. Hopefully I don't get them all haloed and funny because I do have dimensionals on them, so it makes it a little bit tougher, but let's see. I'm going to give it a shot, so wish me luck. Oh, yay. Okay. That one's a little bit funky, but that's fine. All right, so there's the birds. Yay! Still got them on there. All right. And then I added a little, one of the little rhinestones, and I think I added the really, really light blue rhinestones to like the little bodies of the birds. So again, using my Take Your Pick tool. So this Take Your Pick tool on the other side, there's lots of different attachments for this. I should showcase this in more detail because I never really have. But there's different attachments for the opposite side, but this you could also use to kind of pull it up and put it on there. I find myself using this part a lot more. So we're just going to add one to the little body area here on all of these. And then I do like to make sure I push those down really good. And then I added a bigger one down to the cross area where like the rope is on the little rope going around the wood there. And there you have that card. Isn't it so pretty? Okay, so in lieu of time, I did create a 6th card for you. I'm just going to showcase it tonight and show you it. Now I do have an ordering promotion going on with this bundle. So if anyone purchases the entire bundle, it's $79.25. Now you can also get everything what I call a la carte, where you can buy everything separate. You can just get the rhinestones, just the foil. I will post the prices for all of them. But trust me, you're going to want this whole bundle because it so coordinates together so nicely. Anybody who does that will receive all of the cards that I'm showcasing tonight, all 5 of them, or 6 of them. Anybody who puts in a minimum $35 order, you'll receive 3 of the cards that I'm showcasing tonight. They'll already be done, already be completed cards for you. For when you get them, you can just start sending them right out and using them. So this is the last one that I created. Again, I just stamped the pelican here. I used crumb cake on this one. Oh no, I did use soft suede. And then I did a little bit of the stamping around the edges as well on this. Stamped around the edges just to soften the white. So this I actually went on top of the white a little bit as well. Added 2 different colors of, or 2 different patterns of designer series paper here. And then I added a little strip of that really pretty blue foil just to give it a little bit of a crisp look there. So let me bring in all of my cards that I created for you with this amazing bundle. So we have this one right here. You can see that I really chose to focus more on the, well, I like the waves too, but the pelican I think is one of the ones that I really like. Well, I guess I did 2 waves, 2 pelicans, and one that is just a variation of a card for you to be able to duplicate. And this one is probably one of my favorites. This is the very first one that I did. Again, this is the sample I showed you. Remember, I then changed out the designer series paper to give you a different look on the same card. So pretty. And then last but not least, oh, there's 2 more. I showed you this awesome technique with the sponging. And then last but not least is the one where we showcased the actual die. So there you have it. There you have all of the awesome projects that I created for you with this bundle. Again, this bundle just went live yesterday. Some of the things are while supplies last, especially the rhinestones are while supplies last, the designer series paper, and the beautiful foil. So if this is any of the products that you want, I really encourage you to get them sooner than later, because once they're gone, they're gone. You won't be able to get them anymore. And if you're a club member of mine, you want to give me your order early, let me know. I'll be happy to put that in for you if this is something that you would like. All right, thank you all so very much for joining me tonight on Wednesday instead of our normal Thursday. I know it was also Ash Wednesday, so I know a few of you were going to be missing tonight and watching on replay. But yeah, I have my cystic fibrosis event this weekend with actually 52 people in attendance, so I'm really excited. And those of you that purchased the online version, it will ship next week. I'm sorry it's been a while, but I wanted to have all my stuff done before I ship those, so that way they'll ship right after my in-person event. All right, thank you all so very much, and I will be back next week with, I think next week I might be showcasing some slimline cards using the slimline bundle in the catalog. I think that's what's on my list. If it changes, you'll see my Facebook post and you'll know it's something different. All right, bye everyone, and thank you so much for watching.